my country's gone and it's not coming back. I can officially tell you now it's over for America as we knew it. It's gone. And it's never going to come back. You think hell that it's been rough in America in the last however many years. You haven't seen anything yet. It's gone now. America, the government, and the media have finally opened the doors wide open during the last, before Donald Trump years, and told every illegal alien around the world, come on in. We're not going to check you to see who you are, your background, or anything. Come on in, and we're going to pretend that you're a refugee. And you just tell them you're refugees and cross the border. Here's a cell phone, free cell phone if you have issues trying to get across. And the cell phone is to pretend that you're going to turn up to court, show up at court at some point and plead your case. And America has allowed every asshole person from the asshole country into America. And now you will be experiencing more and more terrorist attacks in America. As they've been doing for years in Israel, in Gaza, wherever those places are over there. Over there in that part of the world where terrorist attacks been going on for years. In Iran, Iraq, wherever. And I remember when it was not apparent in America. I don't know if it was happening or not, but we didn't know about it. Well, I didn't. And now, your government, the Democratic Party and right-o Republicans, have told to our enemy, you guys can come on over here. We won't check you out. Chinese spies, Allah people, Jewish-hating people, Christian-hating people. And over the last 4 years or so, they have been stomping and burning the American flag. And they have been taking down the American flag and putting up Allah flags, Mexican flags, everything but American flags. Nothing was done about it. They have shouted death to America, in America, and death to Israel, in America, and nothing was done about it. You turn a blind eye to it because the government want it this way. Because what you don't know, and only because you won't pay attention, is that the government love wars. The media love it. They make lots of money from it. That's the only reason it happens. And the heart is wicked. The heart is wicked, and then they want to make money. And they're willing to let Americans die to get a dollar bill and perceive power. They're willing to send you off to war to so-called protect other countries and let you die at the age of 20, 19, 18, 21, 22, so that they could get profit from war machines and things like that. And because you're not paying attention and they tell you you're a patriot, you are a patriot, you fight for America, you are a patriot. And when you're killed in war, they drape a flag over you and they have a fake funeral and they go back to war again, putting you and your children, your family at risk. We now have ISIS, Allah people on American soil. And exactly what's happening over in Israel and other countries is now in America. And it's going to get worse. For the first time in the law since that 7/11 or 9/11 thing. What's it, 9/11? When they built a bomb? Yeah, 9/11 attack. That was my first time really seeing America running for their lives because Alawaba people had made it to the land. Now they are embedded in America, underground and hitting everywhere. Ain't no way our police, our government are gonna ever find all of them to the point where they can stop this from happening. It just ain't gonna happen. They're embedded into America now. And they came here illegally and so by so-called college permit or whatever. And they state visa. And they some overstayed because they were not worried about it. They know Joe Biden and Obama, those guys were not going to come looking for them. And America's lives is now at risk more so than any other time in the history of America. And yet, you vote for the same people over and over and over again. I'm looking at California fall apart. Carrie Bass, no good. Carrie Bass and Gavin Newsom and all those people, they are proven time and time again they're not going to make California better. They're going to do everything they can to make it work. Gavin Newsom put a hold on 2 oil refineries in California. And now the gas price is going to go even up higher. That's a setup. That's intentional. It wasn't necessary. And yet you turn right around voting for him again if he runs. Carrie Bass is doing nothing, so-called mayor of LA, to make LA better at all. Zero. It's not in her. And yet you vote her in again. They allow your communities to burn down. And Trump came and then he told Carrie Bass, don't get involved in holding people up from rebuilding. Oh no, we won't. We're gonna let them do it. We ain't gonna get in the way, Mr. President. And lo and behold, after all that time, months have gone by on the 3 homes that I'm told been rebuilt. Think about that. And you still vote for the Democrats. You get the government you deserve. That's what you want. That's what you get. And you turn right around and vote them over again, and then you cry. And then they'll blame Trump, and you'll jump on board blaming Trump like you have no sense. But do what you want, but I'm warning you, the terrorist attackers are now embedded in America. And at your major events and places like that, you run a risk of being killed. Fox News is reporting there was a terrorist attack in Colorado. An Egyptian national who came into the country 2 years ago and overstayed his visa has been charged in a gruesome terrorist attack that left 8 people injured in Boulder, Colorado on Sunday. Watch this.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. The FBI says this began as a peaceful event on Sunday. A group of people in Boulder had been marching at a pedestrian mall calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza. Then police say 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Soliman from El Paso set people on fire with that makeshift flamethrower. Video shows the smoke and people screaming. Authorities say 8 people were hurt, 4 women and 4 men between the ages of 52 and 88.
Witnesses are reporting that the subject used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd. The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack. As a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
DHS and ICE sources tell our Bill Malujan Soliman entered the U.S. in August 2022 with a non-immigrant visa. He was authorized to stay until February 2023, but he never left. On March 2023, he was given a work authorization visa under the Biden administration that was valid until just this past March.
In the United States, of America, America is now dealing with this. Remember when we would hear about these things over in other countries, Israel and Palestine, over there, when we would hear about these suicide bombers. I remember when we first started reporting these bombing things in Israel, they were blowing up the Jews at bus stops and in marketplaces and everywhere. They are now in America. Little people, regular citizen people running around, out trying to have a good time. And now they're running around afraid, people falling out, getting hurt because of a suicide bomber chanting death to, free Palestine, whatever they were saying, free Palestine. This is in the United States of America. My country has changed forever now. And this is going to get worse because you've allowed so many years to go by and so much time to go by where these people have been chanting these things on college campuses, and nobody's done anything about it. Burning and stepping on American flags and everything. Death to America on American soil. And you did nothing. The signs have been there forever, and you've done nothing. America, your normal way of life is over. While you're fighting over race and who liked you and don't like you and all this other nonsense, our government, others, have been plotting behind your back for more power and money. And that's why they keep you fighting and angry, because they can control you when you're emotional. And now that this has happened, watch how the laws are going to come down, and every law they create is going to put you in prison, in bondage. Take away your guns. If you go to these outdoors event thing, you got to show all your personal ID, keeping records on you. They'll imprison you. They did the same thing in Africa. They have so many laws in Africa that make you want to holler. And all the laws are against the people, against white people, and the black citizens who are not in for all this stuff that's happening there. It's affecting them too, as it is in America. This terrorist attack, according to the report, they say it's a terrorist attack. It's happening in America. Did you see the people running around afraid? Does that look like it happening in a foreign land? It's not. Your way, the American way of life, is gone. It's over. This is a new. Here's an eyewitness account to the attack.
There was a woman that crossed the street saying there's someone throwing fire at people.
Brian had brought his niece and nephew to Boulder for a hike, never expecting anything like this.
The guy who had these two what looked like water bottles, but I quickly realized they were Molotov cocktails with like a red cloth sticking out of each one. He also had a tank of what looks like water, like a gardening chemical spray type of thing. He had a orange vest on as well, and people have said that he was using it as a flamethrower, so he was spraying it while lighting it on fire and catching people on fire.
The attacker shouting anti-Semitic remarks. Brian stopped recording long enough to call 911. With police on the way, Brian joined the effort to help those who'd been burned.
I grabbed one of their buckets, went to the fountain, tried getting water, like the cold water, to try and put on some of the other burned victims, which were about 5 or 6 others from what I could tell.
Police and paramedics arrived within about 10 minutes, Brian says, but not before he had witnessed the unthinkable.
Every one of the victims that I could tell, that I saw, had skin basically melted or hanging from their legs.
Thankfully, it all ended as police arrived.
And then when they got him in the vehicle, he shouted "Free Palestine." They told him to shut up.
This, I want to remind you, is in the United States of America. This is the real beginning. And it's not new because we had the terrorist attacks September 11. And then we've been hearing about little attacks. Like there was a parade once over in somewhere. A white people parade celebrating. And some guy drove the car down through the crowd and killed people or injured people. This is gonna get worse. This is evil. And evil was already in America, but in a big way now, because your government, with the help of you, because you voted for it, and you had no problem, not everybody, of course, with the borders being wide open. And even now, your government, especially the Democrats, are fighting to keep the terrorists in America. El Salvador people and everywhere. They'll fight. Just think about this. They're fighting to keep terrorists in America. And they're not afraid to let you see it. They don't care that you know that they're doing it. And some of you voters out there supporting it and get you killed. And they don't care because they know you're going to vote for them again. That's how blind you are. Welcome to the new way of life in the United States of America. You will be living in fear. Oh, you're already living in fear, but this is like, it's taken it to another level. God bless America, right? That soundbite was from Fox 31 out of Denver. Did you ever imagine ever that we would be dealing with this in the United States of America? I remember reporting on this over the last 35 years in foreign countries. In foreign countries. People killing, going into crowds, killing each other with knives and others with knives and things like that. You never imagined it would be in America. You and I thought we had better protection, that there's no way our government would allow this to happen to we the people in the United States of America. But what has happened, you've allowed the wrong people to get in so-called leadership, government and media, to run our country. And it's only going to get worse. And what they've cleverly done, and they're getting worse too, they have put women in the role of leadership, knowing, they know that it's not in her nature to lead. It's that when you put women in control, they already know that it's not going to work. And that because of her mentality and emotions, it's going to only get worse because she is emotional. And so there's so many things that have been set up to make sure that America is over, doomed. You're not going to be able to go out to events. Some people still go and take the risk and get killed or whatever because their ego won't let them resist it. They need some type of excitement in their lives. Otherwise, they will feel unimportant, like nothing. So they need excitement. The one thing that the enemy knows that human beings need excitement. Football, basketball, dancing and singing and running around. And so the enemy knows that, and the attack will happen in places where the crowd will be because they're going to show up for their excitement. What a setup, huh? And because you can't see, you don't understand what's going on. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. I suggest you start working on you so you can live in peace in spite of all the hell that's going on around you, and you will be protected from it. I want to show you probably, I almost said one of the saddest things, but that's not true. Because I know somebody, if I was into sadness, sad situation now. But I want to show you, I've said over and over and over again, and I recommend to the blacks that they drop their anger, forgive their mothers, forgive their fathers, and God will forgive them, and they'll be free. Really. And some are starting to do that, men, black men and women. And but most are not, which is the way it's going to be anyway. And I've said over and over again, I would ask experts and non-experts, tell me one thing that most black people have done, politicians, entertainers, or whomever, one thing that they have done to make America better, that will enhance the lives of America. Just name me one thing. I ask only for one thing that majority of blacks have done to make America better. And not one person has ever been able to give me one example of the good. Now it's so bad that not all, of course, but black people have started promoting, and they're putting it in the school books. They're promoting evil as good because they have nothing good to teach or to promote or to say this is good. And so now they are pushing evil and calling it good because they have nothing else to show. Isn't that a sad way to live? They are now putting this in school books. They are putting evil. They are putting drug addicts, allegedly drug addicts, and people who hate America, hate the police, into the school books, and they're calling this a good example. And you send your children to the schoolhouse, and they read this stuff. They put up statues of people like George Floyd and others who have done nothing good at all. And now they'll put it in the school book, Black Lives Matter and all that. Isn't that a shame that around the world, and I was really wondering about this over the weekend, and I know what it is, but what's going on, that around the world, black people have nothing good to show. When it's controlled by majority blacks or anything in other countries, nothing good. Isn't that like interesting? They only have evil and no good. In 12 News, social study textbooks recently appeared at the Scottsdale Unified School District have some parents furious. At the latest government, no, hold on. At the latest governing board meeting, several spoke out against a new U.S. history book, textbook that includes topics like the Black Lives Matter protest, the death of George Floyd, and former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick taking a knee to protest police violence. But this is what black people want to put in a school book. All evil, and they're calling it good. Watch this from News. 12 News. Watch this.
The Scottsdale Unified School District actually received letters from law enforcement agencies, including the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, telling them to not approve this new textbook. But in a split vote, they did. It wasn't the $675,000 price tag for several new textbooks that had people upset. It was just one.
This is nothing but anti-police propaganda was being proposed.
A U.S. history book that addresses topics like the Black Lives Matter protests, the death of George Floyd, and NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick taking a knee in response to police brutality.
This isn't education. It's indoctrination.
A crowd gathered at Scottsdale Unified School District's latest governing board meeting to protest this new material, claiming it's activism wrapped up in a textbook.
Black Lives Matter. I don't want my son learning about that.
It portrays us in a negative view.
Jim Hill, the president of the Maricopa County College's Police Officers Association, also spoke out against the book, saying it doesn't provide enough context, bringing up Floyd's criminal history and how many officers were injured in the BLM protests.
They talk about only the things that inflame people, not here's what we've done, here's where we are in policing.
Poor white people. They trying to do the right thing, but now they stuck with the black people all over. I told you not to let these people on your boards, in your government, in your media. This is what they're going to promote. They have nothing else to offer. What happened to the blacks? Black Lives Matter, and according to the report, George Floyd had drug issues. And I believe he reported he'd been in jail. And Colin Kaepernick a loser. And they're promoting that to the children. And now the white people trying to fight it. Did I tell you not to let these people in your school? What do you think you're going to bring? A holiday? A few said these are topics that need to be covered. And these books are set to be released in 2025-2026 school year. Watch this.
While the majority of speakers were against the book, a few said these are topics that need to be covered.
Now more than ever, it is vital to provide students with a comprehensive education rooted in trust and fairness.
And is it messy? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. You may not like the fact that George Floyd is brought up, but Derek Chauvin is serving time for murder.
When it came time for the board to discuss, 2 members were against it, saying they don't like the message it sends to students.
I'm going to stand with our law enforcement today. Thank you.
However, the other 3 board members said while they received threatening emails, the majority of people were okay with these topics. Those members also said they trust their teachers to add context to the content, giving both sides of what is being discussed.
We followed all board policy and state law. I understand people may feel differently, but we also have to recognize that we're serving a diverse curriculum.
Approving the matter in a split 3-2 vote. These new textbooks are set to roll out in the 2025-2026 academic school year.
That's what you get for letting those women on your boards. What a mess, huh? They are going to be promoting evil and calling it good. Because black people have nothing that's look like black people would not want this in the school books. And the little kids going to be learning about this. Look like they wouldn't want that. It's time to separate. It really is, folks. I'm warning you, but do what you want. Well, maybe it's too late anyway because now we're having terrorist attacks in our country. I wonder, will they include this in the Black History books? This is from Yahoo News. A teenage boy in Maryland arrested for allegedly breaking into 121 cars in a single night was ordered to be released. Then more than a dozen more vehicles were looted the next day. Will they put this in their Black History books? Watch this from NBC 4, Washington.
Hey there, this is an absolutely insane story. We are talking about a juvenile, a 16-year-old, being implicated in over 100 vehicle break-ins, all of it happening in one night, not just in Prince George's County, but also in Anne Arundel County and Howard County. I want to get over to the chief of the Laurel Police Department, who just walked away from this podium and updated us. 121 vehicle break-ins, 3 teenagers. You were able to arrest one and charge one just last week. What's the deal with the 2 other teenagers, Chief?
So, due to the continuing investigation, our detectives identified 2 other young people that were involved, and we anticipate them to be in custody later today.
We're looking at video right now of what happened on the night of May 4th, car after car after car. It's 121 in total. What was it, like 40 or 50 just in the city of Laurel alone?
We had 54 here in Laurel. The rest were, as you mentioned earlier, Howard County, joining Prince George's County, and Anne Arundel County.
And what were these kids doing?
They were just simply going through neighborhoods and targets of opportunity, breaking into cars. If there was something in there, they would steal it. If there's nothing in there, they'd move to another car.
I thought that Prince George County is where people say the black neighborhood are well-to-do. What the? So here's the last soundbite on this beautiful, just gorgeous atmosphere with black people. These are juvenile that was accused of 121 break-ins of automobiles in one single night. The juveniles were released. The juvenile was released within 5 hours of arrest. And Laura Police Chief believe accountability is needed. WBC4, Washington.
We had 54 families just here in Laurel who lost their car for a period of time. That's also a loss of money on their deductible that the family many times can't afford. And we have community meetings. We hear about this repeatedly. And people are upset there's no accountability. The people that were responsible for doing this should be held accountable to make these families whole on their losses. And also there should be an amount of rehabilitation within the system. This young man was released within 5 hours of us taking him into custody, back into the environment that he came from. That's not an unusual circumstance. And frankly, from what we see is there's little to, if any, accountability down the road from the system, the rest of the system. There needs to be an amount of accountability. That's the only way they're going to learn not to do this. And they need to make sure that the people, our victims, at least in some way, are made whole from their losses.
Amazing. Black fatigue. What a mess, huh? What's wrong with the blacks? I wonder, speaking of God, do y'all feel sorry for this woman, this so-called mother? Do y'all feel sorry for this mother being detained by ICE? Here's a video showing a mother sobbing. I want to die in Spanish during the ICE arrest from X. Do you feel sorry for her or what? Watch this.
Esto está pasando exactamente aquí afuera de la Corte Federal en San Antonio, donde esta mujer vino a una cita para seguir su proceso. Sin embargo, está acompañada por el niño.
When she's crying, she's lying.
I guess she's sick too. She's got like a cough, like a flu, maybe.
Ship that one. If she hadn't come here, we wouldn't have to ship it back home. Why is she so upset she going back home? Did you understand what they were saying?
I did understand some of it.
What?
The boy was saying, be calm, mother. Here I am. I'm here. Tranquila. Yeah. Aquí soy yo.
Oh, Nick understood it too. I forgot Nick's Spanish.
Yeah, Nick is
Hake understands Spanish. You're good.
Patilla.
Tranquila. That means be tranquil. Be calm.
That what the boy was telling her?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Mama need to listen to the son.
Indeed.
You know, after looking at that video, let them all in. No more country, no more America.
The anchor baby can
looking at
stay.
that video.
Only the anchor babies can stay. Ship that woman back home. She cried about going back home. Normally people cry when they leave home, not when they going back home. What the? They might tell her to come here. It's all in that. And if you're an emotional person, you're going to fall for it. And then you're going to get a picket sign. Amazing. Amazing. I was, so I have on my country western shirt today. And it was given to me as a birthday by Vanessa. Vanessa, thank you. I like it. That's the way, I like my country western shirt. Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa's a member of Bond and working on her stuff and amazing. So thank you, Vanessa. I do like it a lot. Country and Western Tuesday. How you doing there, Mr. Diller? Amazing. So I was reflecting last night, this morning, and I was thinking about how America was at one time, and it's changed so much that I forgot about a whole bunch of things of the way that things were, of the way we were. I remember when I was growing up. Number one, growing up in Alabama there. Do you know that when we would leave home, like if everybody left the house to go to church or go to town or something, we would just pull the door close and never put a lock on the door. We never, I don't even remember for up until I was 18 years old, I don't ever remember. Now, maybe we did at some point when I got older, 18, 17, 18, but I don't ever remember us putting a lock on the door when I lived in Alabama. Think about that. And everybody, we would all leave the house to go to church or to a basketball game or something. Not to a basketball game, because my parents never went to a basketball game. My parents didn't love me. They didn't go to the basketball game. But they would just pull the door shut and go. And we'd be gone for hours. And never one time considered that someone would break in. And it didn't even cross our mind. Isn't that amazing? And nowadays you put locks, alarms, bars, and security guards around your house. And you're still not safe. Think about that, how far we have fallen. And then I remember growing up, we were never, ever, 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 ever taught to hate someone. We were taught that we're good and bad in all people. Treat everybody the way you would like to be treated. And so when we were running to white people or black people or whatever, it was never an angry hello and goodbye. It was never that way. Think about that. When I was growing up, I only saw one fight. Well, almost a fight. Because we stopped before we. But I was at the baseball. We were up on the hill there, the baseball field. And it was time for me to bat. And this guy thought it was his turn to bat. And we argued over the bat. And then we stopped. But other than that, I don't ever remember anyone fighting, black or white, until I went up to Gary, Indiana in the 11th grade. But I never saw anyone fighting growing up. Isn't that amazing? All the way through school or anywhere. And it wasn't like we were all agreeing. It's just that we were not fighting. Can you imagine that? And today, fights everywhere, all the time. Fights everywhere, all the time, between the blacks and the whites and everybody fighting, really. The women out of control today in fighting. It wasn't like that in the good old days when America was amazing. Another thing that is different, and I was reflecting on this, and I really pondered this. And I'm sure at times I saw men being angry about whatever. I have seen men be angry a little bit sometimes, but it was rare that you saw angry men. And you would run into some type of man maybe arguing with his wife or something like that. I remember one time, Mr. Robert and Mama, my grandmother, they were arguing outside. I was like, what the? But rarely did I see men or women, really, to be honest with you, arguing and fighting. Now, they disagreed, but it wasn't like it is today. Isn't that amazing? Another thing, growing up, and again, I'm reflecting to make sure I'm not making this up. Growing up, I never knew of any guys who, when they turned 18 years old, they were still living at home with mama. Really. And a lot of the guys, there were a few guys who dropped out of school, they didn't finish high school, but they were already working. They had jobs already, and not just in the cotton fields, but they would go up to Columbus, Georgia, and work at the car wash during the summer and things like, or to Florida or New York to work with the orange grove or something like picking fruits, I think they did. But everyone I know, that doesn't mean there's somebody, because I didn't know everybody, but every guy I knew, when they turned 18, they were gone away from home. They left because we were taught to work and we were prepared to leave home at 18. And then it was just ingrained in you. So, like, when you turned 18, you were not afraid of what's going to happen once you go out there, because you were prepared to work, and we knew as long as we worked, we could pay our rent, and we could pay our bills. We knew that, and so we left home at 18 and didn't look back. One time when I first moved out here, I was like, oh, I miss home, but that didn't last but a minute. I never wrote letters back home or anything. Isn't that amazing? And one other thing, because I could go on and on and on. I want my country back, but I know it's not. America at one time was amazing, folks. I don't care what these lying people tell you about the country. America was amazing during the good old days. It really was. Jobs everywhere. Manufacturing jobs everywhere. You can go to anywhere in the country and expect it to get a job without even thinking about it. To the steel mill, fish market, car wash, restaurant, businesses, whatever. You didn't even think that you were not going to get a job. Isn't that amazing? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. And one last thing about this, because I can go on and on. Not one time growing up did I ever hear black people say, men or women, that the white man was holding them back. That because of racism, that word didn't even exist, by the way. Because of racism, you can't make it in America. Not one time did I hear that. Isn't that amazing? And that's when it was supposed to have the so-called Jim Crow laws all the time. But black people in those days did not think that white people were superior to them as they think today. Black people are convinced, the men and the women are convinced that white people are superior to them, to the point they call them white supremacy, meaning that you are superior. Think about that. In those good old days, even when I went up to Indiana, my folks and other people that I knew that had moved from Alabama to Indiana or Chicago or a place like that, They went up there and they got apartments, and within no time they got jobs, and within no time they bought homes. Really. It was so natural that you didn't even think of it as an unnatural thing. It just, that's what they did. And they didn't think the white man was redlining them, whatever that was. Or the white man could hold them back. Adult black men today, and black women pretend that they believe that, but they got to rule. They rule over the white man, but not once. And my folks went up to Indiana, up to New York, up to wherever, and they bought homes, and they got jobs, and they just did their thing. And they never thought, well, I can't make it because the white man is holding me back. White supremacy. But black people today are absolutely convinced that white people are superior to them. They say it all the time. And when man speaks, he speaks from the heart. He believed that. You know, man, you should think about that. And as a result of not being raised that way and that kind of stuff put into your mind, you do well in life because you're just dealing with life. You know you run into good people, bad people, whatever. But you move on with your life. Nothing and no one can stop you. Ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. Amazing. But black people, and as a result of thinking that white people are superior to them, they have nothing to offer America that benefits most people. Zero. Zero. Think about that. Everyone in my class, maybe one or two, I don't know, but everyone in my class graduated. They went to college, those that wanted to go to college, and they became professionals, doctors, lawyers, and teachers. I even have a family member who worked for the CDC thing. Because there was nothing in your mind that said you couldn't do it. And you didn't convince yourself that you could do it or couldn't do it. It was just a way of life. Because in those days, the black people were not comparing themselves to anyone else. And so they just did their thing. Like normal people should. Like the white people used to do, but now white people are afraid of the blacks. And so they hold themselves back because they don't want the blacks to think that they don't love them. And so they pretend that they can't do it. But just think about my America. And when the 4th of July would come, everybody come home from from Indiana, all around. Everybody family would come home and we all meet up at the churches had these big, like, campground like thing around them. We would all meet up there, play the drums, have barbecue, laugh, and just dance and have fun. And then they would go back to their locations that they came from and continue with life. Think about that. And now black people believe that white people are superior to them. They're always complaining about the man. Even adult black men complain about the man. Think about that. And as a result of complaining, they have nothing to offer America. Nothing for the good. What a sad way to live, huh? You can either be free or you can be enslaved. You can live in your misery. And all angry people are living in misery. And black people, I want you to know you're miserable because you're living in your own hell. You're living in your own hell and no one is to blame. Drop the anger, stop the blaming, and you will see. I want my country back. I want my country back. But it's not coming back. I know for a fact, I see clearly that my country is not coming back. But still, you, as an individual, men and women, as an individual, you can be free if you want to be. And you owe nothing to anyone. It's not your fault that people are angry. It's not your fault that people complain. It's not your fault that people feel like victims. It's not your war. It's not your anything. Let them have it. They have a right to live in their misery. They love it. Why go into someone else's misery? And they will try to draw you in. They will. They will blame you for their misery. Isn't that amazing? Some of you know about this up in New Orleans or over in New Orleans, out in New Orleans, wherever they are. There's some about 10 people escaped from jail or prison up there. And they have caught some of them, and it's, 1 or 2, maybe 3 are still out, according to the report. They have not found them yet. And everybody wonder, where's the mayor? They have a black female mayor in New Orleans. Where's the mayor? Ain't nobody heard from the mayor of New Orleans. They're like, what the? I'm like, you expect the mayor to show up? It's criminals. They are committing crimes. And they appear to be black. Well, they are black, from what I've seen so far. The mayor don't care about that. Black people are now celebrating in a school board out of Arizona. They are now celebrating a book that celebrates George Floyd, and that Kim Powell, what's that guy's name? That took the knee, he wouldn't.
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick. Black people celebrate wrongdoing, and they love it, and they call it good. Because they have nothing good to offer America, only have bad. Think about that. Well, according to Fox 8 Live, as the manhunt for 2 remaining Orleans Parish escapees continue in its 3rd week, investigators are reviewing new Instagram video posted by one of the fugitives. The criminal posted Instagram videos or YouTube video. How can that be? Okay. Look like the FBI, somebody smart enough to know, oh, where did this video come from? Let me go to that part of town. That nigger rah-rah is over there. Nigger rah-rah is over there. What the? Antonia Massey, who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center, claimed the domestic abuse battery charges that kept him in jail were based on a false report from a jealous girlfriend. Watch this from WVUE.
I'm one of the ones that was let out of Orleans Parish jail where they said I escaped, right?
17 days after 10 men escaped from the Orleans Justice Center jail, Antoine Massey, one of 2 men still on the run, pleads his case in different versions of 10-minute-long social media videos.
I'm showing y'all, the whole world, how corrupted the state of Louisiana is. I'm an innocent man. Yes, in my past, I made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say mistakes. I was just young. You know what I'm saying? But the system has failed a lot of people and not just me.
Meanwhile, his pastor, Robert Brown, calls on him to return to custody.
Turn yourself in. If you care about your family, turn yourself in.
Deputy U.S. Marshal Brian Fair says authorities are now thoroughly investigating the videos in hopes of locating Massey. In the videos, Massey specifically calls on President Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, and multiple rappers for help as he maintains his innocence. He also claims the domestic abuse battery case he was booked with at the time of his escape was filed by a jealous girlfriend. During the videos, he shows an affidavit his alleged victim filed with St. Tammany authorities.
I don't know about that. That can be true, that this woman lied on him, because they lie on men every day now. When they cry, they're lying. So I don't know about that, but at least he needs to go back and fight for that. On the run is not going to help his situation. Massey said the Louisiana legal system is corrupt and racist.
Massey also calls Louisiana's legal system corrupt, specifically calling out local authorities in the videos.
Jason Williams, Susan Hudson, the sheriff, St. Tammany, these people are racist. These people are biased. These people just doing whatever they want to do, and I'm asking for help, please, before they throw me away for something that I did not do.
District Attorney Jason Williams declined an interview Monday. St. Tammany District Attorney Colin said only that he hopes Massey turns himself in. Sheriff Susan Hudson issued this statement. If the individual depicted in the video is indeed Antoine Massey, we strongly urge him to come forward.
Amazing. And one last thing. How come they don't go over to that towel and beam that boy's cell phone? Can't you beam? I see it on TV all the time. Beam the last place he was with the cell phone. Last but not least, Massey said he didn't threaten the maintenance man. But the maintenance man attorney says he already said that. Watch this.
Massey also specifically calls out Sterling Williams, a maintenance worker accused of turning off the water in the cell from which Massey and 9 others escaped May 16th.
Like, they try to paint a picture of me as this big old bad guy. Oh, I threatened Sterling, the maintenance man. How did I threaten you, bro? You can't even come around me without a deputy being on the tip.
Williams' attorney, Michael Kennedy, responds.
For him to get up there on social media and call Sterling a liar when I have already been out there saying, this is not what we are saying happened. I presume he is just going straight from the arrest affidavit.
Brown says he's hoping Massey will call him and that he can help him surrender safely. If not for him, for the peace of mind of his family.
If you care about them, won't you turn yourself in?
Amazing. What a mess. I gotta take a break. When I come back, your phone call. They got a woman talking about she's the police chief or something. Was she the police chief? The sheriff. That don't even sound right, a woman sheriff. Back in a moment. I want to get to this question, does God allow you to suffer? But first, I asked LUAY from Dubai, heard around the world by everybody and they mama. He had LUAY had called me yesterday, but we ran out of time. And I asked him to call me back today, that I would get to him as soon as he called in. He is on the line, all the way from Dubai. LUAY, welcome to the show. Thanks for calling back.
Thank you, Jesse. Hi, how are you doing?
All is well. Speak up a little bit.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right, so we were discussing religion yesterday.
Right.
And we discussed how you think it's man-made and that you don't really believe in religion. But I want to kind of get more of your thoughts on it. Like, what is Christianity to you then, if it's not a religion to you? Do you consider it to be a religion in that sense?
Well, Christianity, as I said, a man-made religion, and God is not in it at all. But it's a way of communication. When you want to communicate with someone, they're like, "Oh, what religion are you?" And plus, I was raised that way, and it's just a form of communication. I'm a Christian, but that's all that it is.
Okay, because you do see how your beliefs or the way you think is not really the same as maybe most Christians, or do you think that you are more the same?
What's the difference? Give me an example, if you can, of the difference the way what I see to be true and what they think.
Like for me, how you see for example, the main part or the main practice that you do, which is the silent prayer, seems to me more like meditation, which can be found in other cultures. People do it. They sit down, they close their eyes, they listen to their thoughts, which is something that, for example, maybe Christians go to church and they read few lines that they've memorized or that they've been taught. And that's what most religions are, kind of repeating what they have been taught by parents, by schools, etc.
Right. God said we don't know what to pray for. We don't know what we want. We don't know but to be still and know him. And he said in the Bible, I don't know why they put meditate on the word, but God wants us to let go and just be of the light, be aware, and then just being aware all is taken care of. There's nothing we need to do or can do at all. But the Christians have been taught, you need to read the Bible, and nothing wrong with reading the Bible. You need to pray out loud, and when they pray, they don't even get help. It doesn't even work. But they've been taught that, and they are afraid to let that go. Because I've noticed that all people with anger, they live in fear with their anger, and they're afraid to let the anger go. So the Christians are afraid to let go and let God.
So do you think you have to be, or someone has to be a Christian in order to know God in that way?
You never will know God as long as you see yourself as a Christian. It's impossible. As long as you see yourself as any religion, period, no matter what religion, you will never know God because you have identified with the religion. And so that has become your God.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Oh,
that
amazing.
Makes so much sense. Amazing. So I do want to ask you later on about the silent prayer, but I just want to have a bit, I want to say, for example, that a lot of people say that the Bible is the word of God, but you say that God is wordless, he's thoughtless. So that doesn't make sense that it's his word.
The Bible is the word from God. It's a roadmap that leads us back to the kingdom of heaven within. And the word has been made flesh. It lives in us. And the Bible, but once again, the Christians have been told that the Bible is the word from God, the word of God. And they become very limited. And that's why another reason they never really know God, because they just read about him. They read the map as to how to get to Alabama, but they never go to Alabama, so they never know Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They just know about it. So they just know about God. And knowing about God is not knowing God.
Makes 100% sense. And I think it was written by people after Jesus, the Bible itself, about maybe the way he thought or the way he conducted himself, the way, his teachings. But it was never written by Jesus himself or by God or something direct. Does that make sense?
Right.
Right. And one other thing about religion is that I think people try to stick to it too much because it gives them a sense of certainty.
But they're not certain, though. They're people who hold on to the idea of a Christian, the idea about God, whether it's Christianity, Allah, Judaism, or whatever. As long as they hold on to the idea, they're very insecure. They're not secure at all. They have no confidence, period.
Because you have to be secure to live in uncertainty, which is the only way that you have to live in, right?
Absolutely. You must be willing to live in fear in order to overcome it.
All right. So that makes things much more clear for me when it comes to religion.
Are you a Christian?
I've always wondered. I'm not actually. I was born into a Muslim family.
Oh, you're a Muslim?
I mean, I'm not right now. I've kind of turned into a disbeliever in university.
And what made you stop believing in the Muslim religion?
I mean, maybe it's not the best idea for me to talk about this on the air or like what people are hearing, but But so I think the foundational idea of religion, I started to kind of doubt it, because people take it too literally. They want to be certain of how things happened in the past, how things were created, what happened. And I just see people of all religions, Muslims included, are they're not really free, or they're not really.
Yeah.
They haven't found a solution.
And you discovered this in a university, you say?
Yeah, it just happened that discussions with friends, and one thing led to another, and I started doubting the whole thing. I started reading about it more.
Is it true that if you stop being a Muslim, you can get killed?
I mean, that's something that's not it's not encouraged, but it's allowed. It's permitted. Like it does say somewhere that the people that get out are kind of you can kill them basically. Yeah.
That's like belonging to a gang. If you get out, you can kill the person that lead the gang member, the gang group.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of fear, to instill fear in people. It's one of the many reasons that makes one start to doubt kind of the whole thing.
And so you keep it quiet that you're no longer Muslim?
I mean, usually in like civilized places and countries, people don't really follow all the things that are said there 100%. So no one is really going to search for people that exited to kill them and stuff like that.
Okay. Are you how old are you?
I'm 30 years old, just turning 30.
Oh, okay. So did you go and forgive your mother and father?
I did. Yeah, I did because of you, and I have to thank you for that.
And how did it go when you went to your mother? How did that go?
I mean, I can't really remember specifically how the conversation went, but I do remember being a bit scared.
Yeah.
Not knowing how she would react. And but she was kind of, it wasn't that bad, she didn't throw a tantrum, or she didn't overreact. But she did kind of maybe blame my father a bit, maybe.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
She did kind of.
She did what?
I mean, she tried to maybe play it down a bit, or I can't remember the exact conversation, but I just know that I knew that I had to do it.
Yeah.
For my son.
Right on. And how did it go with your father?
Well, my father was it was a bit more intense, I would say. I mean, my mother's emotional, but my father is even more emotional, and not in a he cries in a sense of emotional, but he gets very angry very easily. He has anger issues all his life.
He's just like his mama.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure. I've never known her. But he did kind of. I did feel like he got sad, maybe, or vulnerable after I told him this way. I told him that I used to hate him. I didn't expect it. It caught him off guard. But maybe it was something that he kind of knew deep down. He never really wanted to kind of say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, but after I did that, slowly, I think I started to really kind of love them in a much more pure way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay close to your phone, but you're absolutely right. Now you love them in a pure way. I like that. In the right way, with the real love, we come from God and not from you.
Yeah, I think because I used to, for example, when they used to do things that I did not like, I used to hate them for it, or I used to resent them a bit for it. But now, I accept them for who they are and whatever they have done in the past.
Yes.
I think that's what kind of...
One last quick question. Last week, biblical question, does God allow you to suffer? Do you believe God allow you to suffer?
I think, it's for me, since I'm not religious, it's hard for me to understand when you say God allows you as if he's he's a man. You know, I believe I have sensed God in certain instances where I meditate or I do the silent prayer. But I've never really thought of him as someone who allows or does things to people. You know, he just is. I'm not sure if that. I'm not sure what do you think of that?
I know for a fact, and without a doubt, God does not allow you to suffer. God does not cause you to suffer. God is not trying to teach you anything about through suffering. God has nothing to do with suffering at all. And anyone that suffers and they are one with evil, but they're calling him God. And they think God is doing that, but God is perfect love. And the real you, and if you stay with the silent prayer, you're going to see this. The real you has never suffered, will not suffer, cannot suffer. And the pain that people are feeling is in their ego, it's in their thoughts and feelings. It's not in them at all, but they have been told that it's them suffering, and it's not.
That brings me to a question, if you don't mind. Do you have a bit more time?
Go ahead.
About the silent prayer, and you were telling me and you tell people to stay with it and to kind of keep working on it. On one hand, you say that people should work on it, and you should do it every morning and every night. On the other hand, I feel like you also say that people should kind of let go, and they should become helpless, or they should not maybe force things to be dry. So how do these two things? How do you work them out? Like, do I have to force myself to do the silent prayer every day, or is it something that should come natural?
No, you just do it, even though the ego, the thoughts and emotions try to tell you not to, because those are evil spirits that's trying to keep you away from the light of God, right? Because they know if you continue practice being present, one with the truth, one with God, the darkness will have to leave your body. And so they'll try to talk you out of it. They'll tell you that it doesn't work. You're having all these thoughts. It's not working. This is taking too long. This is too much, and blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like you speaking because they are now imitating using your voice. And but you sit and do it anyway. And then during the day, practice coming when you get caught up in a thought, practice becoming aware of your body. Come back out of the thought 1,000 times a day, and eventually being present will become the norm. You'll be present more than you will ever be unconscious again. It is working for sure, and the devil doesn't want that to happen. And so when you let go, when I say let go, do the prayer anyway, and feel the pain that's trying to stop you from doing it. Know that the pain is not you. And then during the day, and then when you become aware of the emotions, worry, anxiety, anger, guilt, revenge, loneliness, suicidal thoughts, pressure, whatever you're feeling, be aware of that, but don't run away from it. Don't deny it. Don't fight with it. Live with that. Go about your life, your day, and live with that, and God want to take that away from you, that old nature away from you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I want to ask you, I feel like a lot of people that fail to do the silent prayer every day is that, because you said at one time that you cannot make a decision.
Right.
People can't make a decision, or that people are not really in control of their lives. And it feels like when you say for people to do the silent prayer every day and every night, that it's like they have to take the decision to do it, and that they have, that it's something that they have to decide to do. But maybe it's I don't know. Maybe do you agree with me that that's what makes it hard for people to kind of stick with it?
No.
How can they not be able to control themselves, and yet be able to control themselves enough to do it every day?
What made people stop doing it? They're not really ready to overcome their thrills. You have to realize that most human beings love their thrills. They love the thrill of anxiety. They love the thrill of anger and frustration. They love the thrill of blaming others for the way that they feel. They love the excitement, the thrill of excitement. They just love the thrill. So some people start and then they stop because they're getting away from the thrill and that doesn't feel right. They love the thrills. And so they will get on this path and they'll stop. And then, well, this is too hard. This doesn't make sense or whatever, right? And then some will start down the road and they'll be distracted by somebody else or something else. They'll stop. But then there's those one or two men or women who get on the path and nothing can stop them because they see that this makes sense. They're starting to wake up and they see that there's nothing to go back to, that they've always been living an illusionary life. It's been a lie. It's never been true. But some people are going to stop along the way and they make up excuses, which the devil gives them as to why they stopped doing it.
Do you think if you stopped, let's say, the silent prayer with enough time, that you will turn back into, like, let's say, someone normal like everyone else?
There's nothing for me to stop for. There's nothing to go back to, so I can never go back to that.
Oh, okay.
Once you wake up, truly wake up, and get on this journey, you cannot go back to sleep. Especially if you stay with it. Because when you first start out, it's rough. It's painful. It's hard. It's rough when you first start. And then you stay with it. It becomes almost like wordless. There's no complaints, no nothing, right? And you don't know what to say about it. And then once you get past that, you are free.
For me, I haven't yet been able to kind of stick with it. And it was never really a painful experience. It was that I felt, in my experience, I've always gradually felt better while I did it a bit more in my life rather than when I didn't do it. But I'm not sure why. It's just I've never really stuck to it, even though I am feeling better now in this period of my life than I have ever been before, and I'm doing it a bit more. So I'll just have to stick with it and do it every day.
Don't make it in your mind. Don't build up an obligation. Don't make it be something you gotta do. Because the devil, if you miss doing it, the devil's going to tell you, oh, it's over, you're falling back, it's not working. And then if you do it under this thing, oh, I got to do it, you're going to feel the spirit of evil going to make you feel like you're pressured to do it. Just do it and don't make it a big deal either way.
Yeah, and I think a very important thing for someone to be able to do it more easily every day is to be able to also let go, to be in the practice of letting go of everything, every thought, every emotion, every stuff like that during your daily life.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier to kind of...
If you are fed up, and then I got to run because of time, if you're fed up with the way you're living, believe me, you'll get on this journey and there's nothing or no one that can make you change. Your wife, your husband, your friends, your money, your job, nothing can make you turn around. Once you get tired of living the way that you are, you will never turn back.
All right. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, man. Stay with us, all the way from Dubai.
Yeah, I'll definitely be calling you more frequently.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Amazing. Heard around the world. The truth is the same everywhere. And the lie is the same. And you're either of the truth or you're of the lie. You're not of both. Mark my word. Super chat. I want to know, before I go back to the phones here in a minute, what should be the penalty, if there should be, and what should be the penalty for these parents? This is from WREG. One thing I want, do what you want. It's for the people who want to change. you only believe that God is causing you to suffer or trying to prove something to you or letting you suffer because, number one, you've been told that. And number two, you have identified with evil and you're calling evil good. And you're feeling the pain in your mind and body, and you think that you're your body, you think you're the emotions, and you are not suffering. You are free, and free indeed. All right? What do you think if anything should happen with these parents? This is from WREG. A fight among parents at an elementary school graduation in West Memphis, Arkansas, is now under investigation, prompting a zero tolerance response from the district superintendent. Watch this, folks.
Some say parents acting like the children. Now, those punches were thrown Wednesday at Falk Elementary in West Memphis.
Yeah, Greg and Stephanie, West Memphis School Superintendent, he has responded to the incident, and he says that type of behavior, it's a zero tolerance he says there is a zero tolerance policy for the unacceptable behavior that was displayed in that video. This week's graduation at Falk Elementary will be one to remember, and it's not because of the ceremony or the graduates.
Oh my God, that was what, 2-3 different people fight?
And it's at a graduation.
For the kids. That's ridiculous.
Shocking video shows a group of parents yelling and throwing punches at each other in front of kids. You can see parents, children, and staff members staring or walking off in disbelief. Some kids are even heard crying and yelling stop to the people involved in the brawl.
Can you imagine? And you send your little white kids to school like that? What? No wonder that city in Louisiana broke away. And even the men up there fighting like the women. They're not like, hey, stop it. They're fighting too. Men, you're supposed to come and calm things down. You're the light of the world, but you're of the darkness, unfortunately. People in West Memphis says this behavior sends the wrong message and should be held accountable. Watch this.
And what do you think that type of message, sends for kids seeing parents fight like that?
That they can do the same thing. It's a bad influence, that they're not handling themselves as an adult.
People I spoke to in West Memphis say this type of behavior sends the wrong message to children, and those who are involved should face consequences.
It shouldn't be happening around children especially, and these are grown folks at a kid's graduation. That shouldn't be happening at all. All of them need to be held accountable for it. Everybody who's involved. That's what I think about it.
West Memphis's Superintendent Eric Foister shares similar thoughts. In a statement, he says the school district is cooperating with the police department and supports the efforts to prosecute those responsible for the fight.
One thing about blacks, they love to fight. Not all, but most. They love to fight. What the? Can you imagine little kids standing around looking at mom and daddy up there fighting with other people? What do you think they're going to do? Next week, you're going to see those kids over at McDonald's fighting with the workers, throwing food everywhere, throwing the computer off the countertop. What a mess. Now do you believe me when I say anger is evil? This is why you should not tolerate anger at all, not in you or inside of other people. It's evil. Anger is evil. Human beings are evil. I want to mention this. In case you're not paying attention, and I think most people are right now. America and the world is so fortunate. I use the word blessed to have Donald Trump running America right now. What manner of man is this? Not only does the wind and sea obeys him, the world obeys him. Really, It's amazing the power and the authority that Donald Trump has. And it's driving the light of Donald Trump, is driving the darkness of other people crazy. Really, they don't know what to do with it. They don't understand it. They don't understand why or how. And it's driving them crazy. It's driving them, they can't handle it. And in the same way, when you wake up, for those who are working on themselves and want to wake up from the slumber, the people around you will go crazy. Your family members, your mama, your daddy. Well, sometimes the daddies love it because the daddy is not as bad as the mama. But your friends, they're going to go nuts because the darkness hates the light. All power and authority has been given to the children of God. And just because you're a Christian, that doesn't make you a child of God. Just FYI. Or Allah, Abba, or Catholic, or Mormon, or whatever. All those who have returned to the Father. You will understand Donald Trump. And you will see where he's coming from, what's driving him. We are fortunate to have Donald Trump as the president of the United States of America. Donald Trump is so amazing that the children of darkness are like protecting illegal aliens. They're like trying to keep people in the country that will kill you, rob you, rape you, steal from you, carjack you, have a car accident with you. And these people, the government and some of the voters, are protecting illegal aliens. Think about that. Because they don't know what to do with the light of Donald Trump. They don't know what to do with the light. They have no love. Zero love. You have government politicians going to visit the illegal aliens in El Salvador and now in America because they love the darkness and they hate the light. Isn't that amazing? Think about it. Smoke on that one. That is mind-blowing to me. But I understand it, and I'm fortunate to once again see it happen in my country, America. And I remember the good old days when America was amazing. It was men like Donald Trump running it. So count your blessings, name them one by one. All right? Name them one by one. In China, according to these reports, don't like it at all. They're still trying to infect us. What the? They want to stop the light. ABC 23 is reporting 2 Chinese researchers are facing multiple charges for allegedly smuggling a potential agroterrorism, not a protein, but a potential agroterrorism weapon into the United States. Watch this from Fox 2 Detroit.
My name is Yunqing Jie. 33-year-old Yuxin Jian, a scientist and student from China working as a postdoctoral research fellow in a lab at the University of Michigan. On Tuesday, inside federal court, charged with conspiracy, smuggling, and making false statements. It's alleged her boyfriend, 34-year-old Yang Liu, also a scientist from China, was caught at Detroit Metro Airport smuggling a dangerous fungus into the country, Fusarium graminearum, a attacks barley, corn, and wheat and could be used for purposes of agroterrorism. According to this complaint, in July of 2024, Customs and Border Patrol found a wad of tissues in a pocket in Liu's backpack. Investigators say the tissues concealed a note in Chinese, a round piece of filter paper with a series of circles drawn on it, and 4 clear plastic baggies with small clumps of reddish plant material inside. Investigators say Liu lied about the materials before admitting he was smuggling them in to do research at the lab where his girlfriend was working at the University of Michigan. Investigators say Liu's iPhone contained an article titled 2018 Plant Pathogen Warfare Under Changing Climate Conditions. They also uncovered messages between the two conspiring to bring pathogens into the United States. He was denied entry and sent back. It's believed he's currently back in China. His girlfriend, Jian, is still here, now facing serious charges.
Wow. Oh, we got the rice. Amazing. Think about that. Had Obama or Joe Biden been in office, that would have gotten through. It would just gone right and walked right in with it. And that little Chinese girl looked so nice and innocent, huh? Like she wouldn't hurt a fly. And yet, according to the story, allegedly she would still kill all the American people. But she looked like she wouldn't hurt a fly.
My name is...
Oh, she just won't hurt anybody. She looked like the kind of mother...
33-year-old.
She looked like the type of mother where that turned the children away from the father, and she has that innocent look, and the kids think that she's a victim.
33.
What's going on?
I keep trying to play the moment where she says her name all cute.
Oh,
She's all
yeah.
like, "Oh, my name is Chin Chin."
Maybe you want to date her, and then she puts some of that stuff in your food, in your rice. What? No. Isn't that something?
My name is Yunqing Jie.
33-year-old.
And if Donald Trump wasn't in office, that guy would have walked right into America, right into Michigan, and right into the lab. Investigators said they found evidence that biological material was smuggled before this incident, and that the researchers have ties to the Chinese Communist Party. Watch this.
Conspiracy to commit an offense or defraud the United States, smuggling goods into the United States, false statements.
We're not allowed to have cameras in federal court, but I can tell you that this defendant looked very scared. She was handcuffed and shackled at the waist. She closed her eyes as the charges against her were read. According to the complaint, investigators say they found evidence that Jian smuggled biological materials into the United States prior to this, and that she is loyal to the Chinese Communist Party, which they say helped finance her studies and research.
Let me ask the government, what is your position on bond?
The government's seeking detention, Your Honor.
Seeking detention because they say she's a flight risk. The University of Michigan issued a statement condemning any actions that seek to cause harm or threaten national security. The university says it has received no funding from the Chinese government in relation to research conducted by the accused.
Amazing, huh? You better be thanking God that Donald Trump is in office, the great white hope. Let me see what he has to say today, by the way. He's kind of quiet this morning.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice.
Amazing. The great white hope. You better be counting your blessing, folks. Because if that Joe Biden was still there, or God forbid, that female, what was her name? Camilla?
Right.
If Camilla in the White House, Mr. Xi Jinping himself would have brought it in. The president of China, Xi Jinping.
You're making me forget how to pronounce that guy's name.
You can't blame me.
Yes, I can.
Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping?
Xi Jinping.
Dare to tell me in my ear. Xi
Nice.
Jinping. He would have brought it over himself in his suitcase and will walk right in with it.
I don't think he would do that to us.
Allegedly. What do you mean?
Maybe it was somebody underneath him that he didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He ain't know. He's just the president. Mr. Change didn't know. I believe if Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Obama was in there or any Democrats were president, anybody can walk right in. Not only do I believe, we see it all the time. When we saw it all the time when they were in the White House. Let me go to Don, a first-time caller out of UK. Excuse me. Don, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
So, originally I had a question about the silent prayer,
Yes.
but during the time waiting, I want to ask something else. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've been listening to you and watching you for a while now, but things just don't seem to be working well for me.
Don, can you hold on for me? Let me take a quick break. And when I come back, I'm coming straight to your call, all right?
Okay, no problem.
Hold on. Let's go back to Don, a first-time caller out the UK. Don, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
So I was saying that I forgave my parents and I've been doing the silent prayer consistently.
Uh-huh.
But all the fear and worry is only getting worse. It's not going away. And as of recently, even the silent prayer isn't working, because normally it would take some of it off. But now I can just sit for 30 minutes to an hour in just pure anguish, and honestly, I can't handle it. I can't handle it anymore. So I went back to some old habits to ease myself a bit. So my question is, why is it no longer working?
How do you know it's getting worse?
Because I feel like I am going insane. If not, I am insane. I don't know. I can't think straight. Everything feels overwhelming. I barely sleep. Yeah, I don't know. Even I'm super nervous just speaking over the phone.
And why do you call that getting worse?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
What I want you to know is so deep, more than you can realize right now. It's not getting worse. It's getting better. And what's happening is your old nature is dying. And those spirits, which are not you, they're screaming. They're telling you it's too hard. They're saying to you it's not working. They're saying to you, feel all this pain in your body. Be afraid, be worried. And they're telling you that because the light, the truth, is shining on the darkness, which are evil spirit, emotions, and stuff like that. And they are feeling the pain of the lights, and they don't want to die. They don't want to leave you. And so they're desperately trying to get you to overreact rather than going through it and not call it you, so that they have to leave your body. It's getting better. It's not getting worse. And I promise you, if you stay with this, in the beginning of working on yourself, the pain is overwhelming. It's great. And then after the pain is gone, and it will, if you stay with it, silence comes. You can't find words to say. And then once the silence is gone, perfect peace is at hand. You're on your way. It's working, but it is telling you that it's not, because you're identifying with the pain rather than knowing that it's not you, and don't call it you. And the pain that you feel is happening in your body, but it's not happening to you. The thoughts that you're having is in the imagination, in the head, in the imagination, and it's not you. It's working, man.
Even so, it's incredibly hard to function in day-to-day life, especially work. Like, all I just feel at work is this pain in my stomach.
Beautiful.
And
Describe the pain. What the pain feel like?
I can barely breathe.
And it's not medical, right?
No. It's
Man, this is
pure. It's pure fear and worry and anxiety.
Beautiful. It's not you. Even with, you can barely breathe, you can barely walk, you can barely talk. Go to work, do your job, go home. Go to work, live with this, sleep with this, eat with this, be with it. And don't call it you. Don't try to escape by getting drunk or having sex or whatever, right? You stay with it. This thing is dying, and you shall have life. When you're going through hell right now, you're going through the valley of the shadow of death. And God is with you. He's not going to let you fall. Go through it if you want to overcome this. And on the other side of hell is heaven. This is amazing, man. It's working. The truth is with you. The truth is working on you, for you day and night. And this thing hate it. Those spirits of emotions hate it. And the feeling that you have in your body is in the body. It's in the flesh, but it's not in you. You are not feeling anything. It's the fake you, the not you, that's feeling the pain. It's not you at all. The real you cannot feel pain. All this stuff is happening is in your ego body, in the body of evil. It's not you.
I know all of this intellectually. I hear you say it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder to deal with. Like, out of this pain, I've already made some rash decisions. Like, I've decided to quit my job because I couldn't handle the stress or the
So
pain
did you
of it
already
all
quit
out.
your job?
Not yet. I'm leaving a month and a
Don't quit your job. I mean, do what you want, but I wouldn't quit my job because it has nothing to do with that. It's spiritual.
I believe that it was making it worse.
No, it wasn't. What was making it worse is when you were doing the silent prayer and you were watching those thoughts. That was making it worse. It wasn't making you worse. It was making it worse, but you think that is you. How old are you?
22.
Wow, you're young. You're so fortunate, unless you go away from it, to be waking up at such an early age. You are missing a whole lot of...
The truth is, I have walked away from it several times, but I always kept coming back because nothing else really worked.
I rest my case. Once you wake up, and you start overcoming it, there's nothing to go back to because all of the illusions are falling away and they are disappearing because people go back to imagination, those who give up, and they think they're going back to something. It's just an illusion. So right on. I recommend you stay with it, but do what you want. It's up to you. I'm telling you, though, based on everything you've said, it's working. But the darkness doesn't want you to know it's working. It wants you to think it's not working. And the pain you feel is not yours. It's not you. It's not even happening to you, even though you feel it in your body. It's not happening to you. It's happening to it. And don't call it you, and you'll be fine if you go through it. And the matter of fact, don't forget your question, but the more pain you have, the sooner you will get over it.
Okay, I hope that's true.
It
and
is true.
so how do I still stay productive with all this pain? How do I still get stuff done? Like, it's so hard for me to just do basic things. All I want to do is just stay in one place and do nothing. But even that, it just causes me pain, because then the voices in my head tell me, "Oh, you're procrastinating, and there's stuff to do. There's if you don't do this, then it will bite you back in the end."
Don't believe the voices, and then go to work, put one foot before the other one, one step at a time, do your job. Don't complain about anything. Just watch it. Don't complain to the employees about how you're feeling or anything, and quietly go through this, and the spirit of truth will destroy it. Just go to work, do your job, and it's going to tell you, "Oh, Lord, you can't go to work today. You can't make it. You're not going to be able to talk or speak at work. You this, you that." Don't believe it. Those voices in your head are not yours. They are using your voice to pretend or make you think that they're you, but they're not. You are not your thoughts. You're not those voices. You're not the emotions, the fear, the loneliness, the doubt, whatever. It's not you, buddy. But it want you to think it is. That's not you saying those things to yourself. It's the spirit of evil. And that's in every human being on this side of heaven. It's in everyone. But only a few get to go through what you're going through, because most people don't want to overcome. They love that misery that you're experiencing right now. Most people love that.
Some of them seem pretty convincing. Like how a lot of people say that, oh, to overcome this, you need to eat right, exercise, make more money. And from what I see, well, on the internet anyway, they genuinely seem, content and at peace.
But they're not. They're lying. Money, exercise, food, or anything going to solve the spiritual issues. And those people who look like they're happy, they're making buku money, they're very popular on the internet, it's all a show, and they have to work overtime to keep that going, because they're trying to hold on to this illusion that they have peace and they're free. But the moment they stop, reality sets in again, that they're no good.
Okay. I don't know what else to ask.
You're on your way, I'm telling you. It is working. And all the voices that you're hearing about this or that, all the feelings you're having, those are not you. Those things are not you at all. In order to have a life, you got to give up a life. You got to give up.
I don't know. I don't know what that means, to be honest.
Beautiful. It's happening, man. And I'm telling you, but you got to stay with it and be willing to go through it. Don't quit your job. Go to work. Don't and have your little meals and things like that. You may have to spend time by yourself for now, because you're not going to feel like playing with anyone and all that kind of stuff, because you're not going to be interested in that. But you're on your way. It's going to always, in the beginning, the pain is rough, because now you've awakened the ego nature by shining the light on it, admitting you're wrong, that anger is evil, you admitted that you're evil. So you awaken the darkness by the light, and now the darkness can't handle the light. It's not you.
I've been on this journey on and off, as I've said, for a long time now. So, sometimes it feels like it's just a never-ending trail. I'm going nowhere. Nothing is changing day to day.
But it's not true. I know I went through the same thing. It tell me, especially when I first started out, and the pain and the thoughts were overwhelming. They would literally say to me, "Oh, it's not working. Look how you feel. You feel afraid. You feel lonely. You feel this or that." And they would say, "It's not working." Where is God It used to literally tell me or say to me, "Where's God now?" And then I would hear my voice saying that. I would hear my voice saying that, and I'll be like, "Yeah, where's God?" That's what I'll be thinking. And then I would catch myself, and that's not me saying that. I would never say that. And I kept reminding myself it wasn't me, and endured that pain. And I'm telling you, man, it gets better and better. And then you get to a point where you don't feel any pain. You don't have any thoughts. It's just a quietness come. And then after that, you're free. But
I really hope this won't take me like 30 years because I kind of want it now.
Don't hope for that. Have a wait and see. You must be willing to endure to the end. And the person that endures to the end, male or female, that's the one get the prize. Don't, and I understand that too. I'll be like, wow, I want this to be over. This is too much. This is too long. Stop it. Don't do that. You deal with it now. What?
Okay. And I try to be smart, and I intentionally do nothing. I can stay in the silent prayer for an hour or more if I want to, but it only gets worse.
Right. And it is getting worse because it is dying, meaning that it's being taken away from you. And those spirits going to have to go and make a home in somebody else because evil lives inside of human beings. And so they're going to have to find another home. And they don't want to do that. They want to stay in the house that they have already invaded. They want to stay in you.
Would it be worth trying to do the silent prayer for, 12 hours or 24 hours just to get this over with? Would that work?
No. What's going to happen is you be quiet, do the silent prayer, and then during the day, practice being aware of what's happening on the inside of you. Be aware of the thoughts and the feelings that you're having, but don't call them. Don't call them you.
I'm very aware of that, especially at work.
Yes.
But being aware of them does not make them go away.
Yes, it is. They are going away. You just don't know it. They're going away, but just be patient. They're going away, and don't do it. Try to rush it, or wishing that you didn't have to go through it, or anything. Don't have any ideas about it, how long it's going to last or not last, the pain, or anything. You got to die from all those ideas as well. You got to die from all thoughts, all emotions, all ideas, all everything. And you will if you stay with it, Don. I literally hear you saying it is working. It's just that you don't realize it's working because you believe in the lie that it's not working.
Yeah, and then I start to hate myself and get frustrated for believing the lie and so on and so forth.
And who is the self that you're hating?
I don't know.
Describe the self.
I don't know. I hear you ask this question a lot, and I don't know.
Because there is no you. You are not hating you. It is hating it, and it pretend to be you. When you say you're hating you, you're on an ego trip. There is no you. That's part of the ego nature to believe that is you. It's no you. It's lying to you even about that. So there's no self to hate.
I don't think I'll understand what you just said for quite some time.
Don't try to understand. That's beautiful. Know that you don't understand. Don't try to understand, and understanding will come. In your weakness is when you're made strong, right? So understanding will come. That's beautiful. That way you don't just repeat it. Knowing that you don't understand it is the beginning of understanding.
Yeah, what I actually find or caught myself doing was repeating what you're saying, and I think a lot of people do that too.
And that's fine, because you got the knowledge of it, but you eventually let the knowledge go. That's fine too. because we get the knowledge, so for a while we repeat what we hear. But for those who sincerely want to overcome, they drop that and they start to see and understand. And that's what's happening to you right now.
Okay. One more question.
Yeah.
How? So we have you, for guidance. Who did you have? How on earth did you do this all by yourself?
I asked God to let me see what was wrong with me. I was emotional like every human being on earth, but I didn't know I had my mother's nature. I didn't know that I resented her because I thought I loved my mother. But I had my mother's thoughts and emotions like every human being on earth. And he allowed me to see that I had to forgive. That was holding me back, and I went and forgave, and everything changed. And I used to do the hooping and holler prayer. Oh, Lord, help me, please. Crying, praying for mom and dad and everybody. And those prayers were not heard by God. They were heard by Satan. But it wasn't until I asked God, what's wrong with me? Why am I so emotional? Why do I have this fear? I go to church, I read the Bible, it's just not working. It's only when I sent up a sincere prayer of like, I can't do this. Nothing is working. It's when things start to change.
Okay.
It's working, Don. Don't let the devil tell you, those spirits tell you that it's not working. It is working. That's why they're telling you that it's not working, because it is working. And don't believe the lie. Those thoughts are lying to you, and stop calling them you. When you feel that pain in your body, I feel the pain in my body, but I'm not the pain. I feel the pain in the body, but I'm not the body. I see those thoughts, but those are not my thoughts. I see it, it's not me. Even if you have to just say that to yourself for a while to remind yourself that it's not you, you'll be fine. But if you want to die, buddy, there's no other way out. You got to go through hell.
Okay, seems like I have no choice.
You don't. Because you come too far, you can't go back, even if you wanted to. You're right at the gates of hell. Just go through it. And then on the other side is heaven. Every human being has to say, there's not one person you ever seen, ever heard of, ever will see that don't have the same problem you're having, but they're not going through it because they love their hell and they love trying to inflict it on others. But you don't love your hell. That's why you're giving it up. You're letting it go. You're dying from it.
So whilst all this is happening, how do I carry on living? Do I just
one step at a time, one day at a time, watching those thoughts, not calling them you, and go about your day. Don't quit your job, have your meals, and just go about your day and let all ideas disappear.
Ideas meaning what?
About what you're going through, and about God, and about this, and that I got to give up, and this is too long, this is too hard, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, it's not you, though. And hate said, what do you say, hate, if you catch yourself in a good moment?
If we caught you, the caller, in a good moment on the internet, we'd think that you're doing fine. Just like you think that the success people are doing fine.
Yeah. Those people are not doing well at all, man. They're deceiving you. And don't want to be like them anyway, all right? The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Hold on, buddy. Back in a moment. Let me just finish up with Don out of the UK. Don, you have one other quick question or statement? Comment?
Yes, it was regarding the people on the internet, anyways, or business owners, people with plenty of money. In order to accumulate that much wealth, you must. Well, I don't believe anyway that you can achieve that with things like fear and doubt and anxiety. So simply because they have those things and the way that they speak, I believe that they don't have fear and worry.
But what you don't understand, that's why they achieve those things, because they are in fear. They do have fear. They do have worry. And they do what a drug addict or alcoholic does. They think that if they got an education, or if they made a lot of money, or they have so-called status, that that's going to cause them to have peace, and it doesn't. And then now they got to work overtime to try to hold on to that, because if they get one moment of downtime, they feel like nothing, like something is wrong. And so they got to go back out there and work a little harder. Maybe if I made a little bit more money, or maybe if I had one or two more friends, or maybe if I got married, or maybe if I made a lot of children, or maybe if I made another video. They're doing it out of fear. They're not doing it out of peace. And you're reading it wrong.
So if they say that they have peace or are living a good life, they are lying?
Yes.
Okay.
And don't want to be like them. You be you. Don't try to be like anyone, because you made them or that your God. And you shall have no other God but God. You should only love the truth, seek the truth, and love the truth with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else or nobody else. Otherwise, you made that your God.
How do I make someone my God again, if I believe what they say?
By wanting to be like someone else, or wanting to, or wanting to get married, or wanting to have children, or wanting money, or wanting anything. You'll get those things. You will made them your God, and then you will lose them.
Okay.
Let them wish them well, but you be you. You work on you, and you'll be fine. If you just have a glass of water and a piece of cornbread on your table, you'll be happy with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Stay with it, man. I'm telling you, it's working. When those spirits try to tell you it's not working, they're lying to you because they want you to stop. They want you to turn away from the light and back toward the darkness. That's not you telling you that.
Well, okay. My biggest problem is just functioning throughout the day, because it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Like now I have started to escape into food and escape into the internet.
I'm telling you, if you go back like that and you continue, it's going to be worse than what you've left, what you're leaving. Because you go back into hell, it's double trouble, because you're going back into hell. And it will be worse than the hell that you're overcoming.
So your suggestion is to just do nothing
and do nothing but watch it. Do nothing but watch it. Don't call it you. Go to work. Have your little dinner. If you got to be alone, be alone. And I'm telling you, and don't worry about how long it takes, how painful it gets. The Father's with you.
Okay.
I wish you well, Don.
Thank you.
What the? You'll be fine, man. Stay with it. Do what you want, but I recommend you stay with it. That old nature is dying. And don't blame anyone for the way you feel, what you're thinking.
I don't.
Because it has nothing to do with anyone else but you. No matter how they are, it has nothing to do with you. All right?
Yeah.
Count it all joy when you're feeling the pain.
I actually hear that in my head.
Tribulations work as patience in your life. You're being tried by the fire, and the flame gets so hot that you can't even see the sky for the smoke in your eyes, but stay with it.
Okay.
I wish you would. I got to run. I can't play no more.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. I always talk about thoughts, and I always tell you that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And when you're in your thoughts, you're not seeing clearly at all. Even though you think you are, you may have even heard about thoughts being lies. Now you think you're in your that you can see, you can't. If you think you can, you can't. Your thoughts are not God's thoughts. Your ways, my ways, and no one's ways is that of God. Isaiah 55, 8 through 9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts." This is the word. I'm not making this up. For your thoughts are not my thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. Your ways are not God's way, right? Nor are your ways my way, declare God. For as the heavens are high than the earth, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. All thoughts, folks, are all lies all the time. And those thoughts that you believe are yours are causing you to do and say things that you would not do or think on your own. Isn't that amazing? Here's an example of that. A good example, too. From WXYZ, a Dearborn Heights woman is recovering in the hospital after being shot multiple times when her ex-boyfriend allegedly broke into her home with an AR-15 rifle. Watch this from Fox to Detroit.
Opened the screen door and he just started shooting his gun, his AR-15. It was just shots everywhere.
It was Sunday morning, May 18th. Darshell Evans was getting ready to make breakfast for herself and her fiance when she says her ex-boyfriend walked into the house. Evans lives on Waddell Street in Dearborn Heights.
He just came in shooting. He didn't say anything. He didn't have any words. He just came in blazing, gunfire. That's all I seen is gunfire.
Evans' fiance is shot in the leg and yet is able to run away. But Evans is shot several times.
He was trying to shoot me in my head, and then I blocked it with my right hand, which caused an amputation of my right hand. And once he did that, I had to play like I was dead just so he would stop shooting.
Later that afternoon in Detroit, police arrested Evans' ex-boyfriend, Ashante Linnelli Ramon McAfee.
He just wanted me back. He was just like one of those type of people, like, if I can't have you, nobody can have you.
If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. If I can't have you, no. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. Have you ever felt that way? If I can't have you, nobody gonna have you. That came from thoughts, which were not his own. And that was not love that he was feeling at all. That was hate being called love. Because if you truly had real love, if someone don't want to be with you, even if you've been together 1,000 years or 1 hour, they don't want to be with you, you're like, oh, okay, bye. You will feel nothing about it. No loss, no gain. That's not love. That's hate. Nobody loved nobody. Isn't that amazing? The woman says during the 6 years they were together, she never heard him, never had to call the police on her ex.
And in the 6 years they were together,
You know, maybe like a push or a shove or something like that, but never to the point where I had to call the police on them.
Evans isn't sure when she'll be getting out of the hospital. Eventually, she'll be getting a prosthetic hand and will have to learn how to navigate life with it.
I just take it one day at a time. That's all I can do is take it one day at a time, and I still have nightmares. I still have flashbacks. I just take it one day at a time. That's all I can do.
The woman now has a pathetic hand. What the? All because of love. What love got to do with it? It has nothing to do with love. Love is not real love. It's not an emotion. Emotional love is evil. It is pure evil, and it's all about self. It has nothing to do with the other person. Zero. You know, amazing? This is interesting. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, right? The NBC Miami. This is from NBC Miami. I guess this guy is Bible thumping while being arrested. In a moment caught on a video, the Valencia County Sheriff confronted a man who allegedly sent him death threats from across the country once he was brought to Florida to face justice. This guy was caught. And the man, the Daily Mail has reported that the man sent the sheriff an unhinged email accusing him of proliferating AI child porn after the sheriff threatened to publish delinquent children mugshots on court document state. Watch this for NBC. You'll see what I mean. Miami.
Why do you want me dead?
I am a Christian.
So
All
am I.
I can do is to know you
So
are
am I.
You are not.
How do you know that?
Because in Corinthians it says.
Matthew, I'm Sheriff Chitwood. I'm the guy you want to kill. And there's nothing I can do about it. Challenge accepted.
I sent you a sermon. It was from Romans chapter 5, 6 and 7.
But you do know in Florida, a written threat to kill is a felony. You know that. Well, look, just so you know, I'm the one who made sure you came back. And I hope you enjoy your stay at the branch jail.
You violated
I will also tell you that you will not see Mickey Mouse on this trip, and you have to reimburse us for your flight here and for your stay at the county jail. Why don't you look me in the eye and tell me why you want me dead? Why do you want me dead?
I am a Christian.
So am I.
All I can do is to know you
So
are
am I.
You are not.
How do you know that?
Because in Corinthians it says bondsmen are not Christian.
Okay. Well, we're going to take you.
You are not Christian.
We're going to take you where you need to go.
Fine.
We will make sure the cell has rubber in it.
Bible Thumper Thursday. What the? And one last one. Here's a video of a father being yelled at by his mother, by the mother of his children, over Father's Day gift. Over Father's Day gift, he returned to the store. Watch this from TikTok. This is amazing.
I could have been the one. I could have been beating you. I could have been doing all the bad shit. Could have been the perfect little angel, and they would still have to escort you because the army can't touch me. Where's my chair?
Well, that chair was a gift.
It was not a gift.
You said it was from
It is my chair! I want my chair back!
You said it.
Where is my chair?
I took it to the barracks.
Give me my chair back, Ethan! You stole it, you son of a
No.
I have the receipts for it!
That's fine. You gave it to me as a gift for
It
Father's
is not
Day.
for you, it is mine! Everything I bought that I paid for is mine! Give it back!
But it was a gift. You gave it to me for
It is
Father's
not
Day.
a gift!
I'm sorry, it's my chair. I'm gonna use
I
it.
will. I have the receipt for it. I have everything for it. I even have text messages of me telling Kate and everybody how much you hated it, how much you don't like it. You stole my chair. You stole my chair. You son of a. Go get my chair. You're not seeing the kids.
You're not seeing the
Really?
kids.
Yeah. Give me my chair, or you're not seeing the kids.
No, don't take the kids from me.
Go get my chair. Right now. Go get it.
Please don't.
Bring me my chair in perfect condition.
Lord, all I want is to see my kids.
Amazing, huh? How would you like to be married to that one? And this is commonplace in today's America, where these women, so evil, they keep the children away from their fathers. Isn't that amazing? How would you like to be married to that? And she, according to the report, she is ticked because this man didn't like the chair that they gave him for Father's Day. And he took it back. Talk about ego. If it's for him, what's she mad about? It sounds like it's for her. All thoughts, all lies, all the time about anything. Let me go to Jennifer, a first-time caller out of North Carolina. Jennifer, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how are you doing today?
All is well, Jennifer.
So I just kind of have a quick question.
Okay.
So I've been married for a long time, and when I got married, we were not Christians, neither one of us. And I became a Christian maybe 8+ years ago, and he not. And so it's just kind of, it's a little difficult to navigate at times because we see things completely different. But one of the questions that I have, and it might be a little, I'm trying to say it as good as possible, is I know that we are married. This is terrible. So is it required for me to be intimate with him?
Intimate?
Yes.
Do you want to be?
Absolutely not.
And why not?
It feels gross.
It's gross to be intimate with your husband?
Yeah.
So,
yes, it does. It feels gross.
Has it?
I know it's terrible, but it's true.
Oh, has it always been that way?
No, not always.
Why did it become gross all of a sudden?
He does gross, I guess.
What?
That's the way to put it. Just I'm not attracted to him. And I don't mean physically. I just mean on a spiritual level. He constantly lies. He does drugs, stuff like that.
And why do you stay with him then?
We have children, and I feel like it's more important for him to be a part of their lives than it is, than that.
Okay, you're right about that.
Yeah. Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, we get along pretty well. I have to swallow, and things a lot. So,
don't
but
swallow.
yeah, definitely not. But I do not want to. Yeah, definitely. It's just that I've been for a long time. I've been feeling like I've been forced. It just feels really gross. And so I think he's going to get really angry when. Actually, I'm pretty sure he'll get pretty angry when I refuse. And so,
how many children do you have?
3.
And so, do you resent your husband?
I'm not going to lie, I was for a while. I think I've gotten over that. I think I'm trying to forgive, and but not really.
No, you went all around the circle. Do you resent your husband?
I'm sorry.
And then you said,
no, I do
really.
not resent him anymore.
Okay, you don't resent him
Not
anymore,
anymore.
right? And
No,
does
anymore.
he know
I did
you
for a
don't want
long
to
time.
sleep with him because he's gross?
I have said it before, but then I didn't hold the boundary, and I did it. So I think this won't be new information to him. When I say
Okay.
It.
All right.
Yeah.
And your question for me is what?
I was just wondering, if that's what I was wondering. I live in the South, so there's a lot of, oh, you're married, you have to do that. You're the wife, you have to, do that to your, with your husband and all that. I mean, and I'm and I kind of been praying, and I don't think I'm required to.
You're not.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but have don't resent him and don't resent yourself.
Right.
You got to drop all the anger, and then have an honest conversation with your husband about it. But don't get angry at his reaction to it, whatever it might be. And then continue to work on yourself, and whatever it is that's causing you to feel that way, you'll overcome it.
Okay.
But you're not. Now that you have your children already, you're not required to do that.
Okay, cool. That's great. And he wants another kid, and I wouldn't mind having one.
Right.
But I am old.
How old are you?
I am old. I am in my mid-40s.
But that's not too old to have a baby, is it?
So actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am willing to. No, it's not. It's not. Like I've been checked out. I'm good to go if I want one. I'm thought about like since he wants one and I want one, that like just that when we know that it's that time that that I can have one, just doing it then.
Yeah, close your eyes and do it then, and hurry up and get pregnant.
Okay. All right, that's what I want to do then. That's what I'll do.
And are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, stay with that. And so you can see what's really going on with you. And because whatever you're feeling has nothing to do with your husband. It's just that the anger or whatever you feel is happening on the inside of you. And the thoughts, which are all lies, are telling you that it's because of your husband, and it's not.
Okay.
So do the prayer and see what's going on with you. Stay with it. But be honest with your husband about it, and just don't get mad.
Okay.
All right?
I can do that. Okay.
I wish you well.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. I want to, before I go to the callers here, some of you know that Elon Musk and the great white hope Donald Trump are having what appears to be a fight. Fight. And I don't know if I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, I don't even know if it's real or not, really, because Donald Trump is so smart that I don't know if this is a way either to get Elon Musk business back with his cars and things. You know how the Democrats and the liberals been burning their cars, attacking their businesses and stuff like that. I don't know if it's about that or something else. And so it's interesting to see it. But I can't tell if it's real or not. I just don't know. But if it's real, let's say they're fighting and it's a real fight. They're really mad at each other. I really don't care about that. Zero care. As long as Donald Trump, the great white hope, continue to work for me, to work for the taxpayers, to make America great again. Because when you deal with people, things are subject to change with you and those people at any point, really, especially people who are emotional. And so as long as Donald Trump stay on track to continue to shut the borders down, incorporate tariff, build the military, bring back jobs and lower the taxes and send the illegals back. As long as that is happening, he and Elon can argue until the cows come home. Really. I just don't think it's real, though, for some reason. It seems like since Donald Trump know how to get the attention of the liberal media and then cause other things to happen for the good, I don't know what to think about it, folks. Really. It just doesn't seem like a real fight. Yeah, I know they're saying things, I guess, on their little channels, on their little YouTube channels, but I'm still not convinced that it's real. And again, it doesn't matter to me. And I know I heard one of the, either Trump said or somebody said that Elon is a good businessman, but he doesn't understand how the government works. And so when they're working on this big, beautiful bill right now, and Elon wanted more cuts than what's happening in the bill. And Trump said, I believe it was Trump, I may be wrong, that it takes time. You have to kind of chisel away, hammer at this thing until you finally get it the way you want it. So this bill coming up now is good, and yet, but it need more, so they'll do it again and again and again until they finally get what they want. And it was said that Elon might not understand that. I know that Elon appeared to be disappointed at the Republican and Democratic government that they wouldn't cut the way it should be. So I don't know. You never really know behind the scene because the media is not going to be honest with you about it. And the people who are fighting, they're not going to tell you the real reason they're fighting. So I don't know. What do y'all think about it? Here's ABC News. A war of words between Elon Musk, and President Trump erupted into a full meltdown on Thursday. Musk slammed Trump for ingratitude over the 2024 election, knocking the president's signature to legislation, and even claiming Trump was on the Epstein file, was in the Epstein file. Watch this from ABC News.
Tonight, the stunning collapse of an alliance between the President of the United States and the world's richest man, their relationship exploding in front of the world. In the Oval Office, President Trump for the first time addressing Elon Musk, who's been taking aim at Trump's budget bill, saying, "Kill the bill."
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore.
For days, Musk has railed against the president's bill, calling it a disgusting abomination that would add $2.5 trillion to the national debt. Today, Trump accusing Musk of being out for himself, angry that the bill cuts the electric vehicle tax credits that benefit Tesla owners.
I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden, he had a problem. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate.
Musk left the administration just 5 days ago. He had a black eye. Trump revealing today he offered Musk makeup.
You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is.
Amazing. So I just don't know. It's interesting. It doesn't appear to be what it seems. Musk claimed Trump would have lost the election without him.
Musk spent more than $288 million to help elect Trump. The president says he could have won without him.
I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway.
Musk watching today, furious, posting, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election." The president gave Musk extraordinary power, allowing him to eliminate entire federal agencies and to fire tens of thousands of workers. But tonight, Trump portraying Musk as another disgruntled former employee.
They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile.
The president says he's disappointed by this turn.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Amazing. I don't know if it's real, folks. I think there's something else going on because this guy, Trump, is real smart. Trump and Musk erupted into a social media feud. What's this?
Musk erupting to his more than 220 million followers. On Trump's claim he knew what was in the bill, Musk posting, "False. This bill was never shown to me even once." The president firing back, posting Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. And tonight, Trump is now threatening Musk's $20 billion in government contracts, saying the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Musk continuing to fire back late today, suggesting Trump's tariffs will plunge the nation into recession, even suggesting impeachment, and leveling a deeply personal attack. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Referring to Jeffrey Epstein, who is accused of sex trafficking and who took his life in prison. Late today, reporters asking the president.
Mr. President, any response to Elon Musk?
The president did not answer.
Amazing. Interesting. So again, I don't know. I'm having to wait and see about this one. And but I wish them well. And I hope that Trump continue to make America great again, because we have one shot. America's never going to return to what it was, that's for sure. But at least we have one shot at, which we've not had in a long time, bringing back jobs and all those things, making it strong military, bringing back the police, locking up the criminals and all that kind of stuff. So I want that to continue, and whatever the little fight is about, I wish them well. What do y'all think? Do you even care about this story? I just want to continue to hear that they are sending the illegals back to their wherever they came from, that they are making the streets safer, and that they lower the taxes, and that they are whatever. The border security. I hear there's a lot of money in this bill for the border, and I'm happy about that. So that's all I really care about concerning this, because when you have human beings together, stuff happens. I just want the president to continue to do what he said he's going to do for us, meaning work for us to make America great again. Because it's a mess right now. And I believe, we'll see, and it's been reported that this weekend things are supposed to be dying down between the two of them. And apparently they may be talking on the phone or something like that. But I don't know what the truth is in this. And frankly, I don't give a darn if it does come home, Paul. I won't accept him. So I'm not really concerned about it, to be honest. My producer said, we can fix the economy. We can't fix the racial demographic. That's for sure. We can fix the economy, but we can't fix the racial demographic, meaning that these illegals coming over here having babies and then becoming so-called citizens, we can't fix that. But we can make the economy better. So we got to keep them out of here and send them back that's been coming in. Let me go to first-time caller out of L.A., Lee. Lee, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, my question is, I have a lot of fear. I want to meet my future wife, but I'm scared to talk to girls because of rejection. They might reject me. But I want to find my future wife, but I'm scared, though, of the rejection.
And how do you know you're afraid of rejection?
I don't know. I just think that they might say something negative like, hey, I got a boyfriend.
Have you ever tried to meet one? Have you talked to a woman that you wanted to talk to?
Yeah, a couple times, yeah.
And when you spoke to them, how did it go?
Some of them went kind of bad. They looked at me and this is, ugh.
And how old are you?
Get away. 55.
55.
Yeah.
And so you want to meet your wife, but you're afraid to talk to women, so you can't meet a wife?
Right.
And where is
Send me a future wife.
Where is the fear?
I don't know if it's in my head or in my heart. I'm not sure.
And how do you know you have it if you don't know where it's located?
If I don't know where it's located, how do I know if I have it?
Yes.
I don't know I don't know how to answer that question.
How do you know you have it? You don't know where it is.
Well, I think I have it.
You what?
I think I have it.
And have you ever heard that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything?
No, I never heard of that.
Yeah, all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And because you think you have the fear, you're believing a lie, and you're not moving forward with your life because you're believing a lie. If you went out and you shouldn't be looking for a wife anyway. You should be only looking for the truth. But since you decided to put the woman first, you should go and shake into your boot and talk to them and see what happens. And you're going to see that the fear was an illusion. It's not even real. You just think that it is, and all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
So you just said right now I shouldn't be looking for a wife, you said?
No, you should only look for the truth.
What do you mean by looking for the truth? Explain that to me.
Return to the Father, God, and when you return to Him, put Him first. Seeking first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added. And if it's meant for you to have a wife, He will give you one. You don't have to look for it. It'll be the right one. But if you look for one and you find one, all you're going to find are troubles. You're going to find the Satan's daughter, and all you will ever have will be troubles.
So you're saying I shouldn't talk to the girls then?
You made the woman your God. You should talk to them so you learn how to deal with them, but don't talk to them thinking that this is your wife. You only put the truth first, and that will become your God, not something else or someone else.
So you're saying would like talk to them as a friend and not like try to talk to them as my future wife or something? Or
right.
What?
You don't even talk to them as a friend. You just talk to them because you want to talk to them. But don't have an agenda, and then you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, so the agenda is
to learn how to deal with women, not to be afraid. But don't talk to them with in your mind, this is your wife, or in your mind, this is your friend, or anything. You just speak to them, talk to them, and whatever is meant to be will be.
So this fear that I have,
it's not real.
The rejection.
It's not real. No such thing as fear of rejection. The fear comes from anger. Drop your anger, the fear would disappear. You drop the anger, you can move forward, because anger is just like fear. It's an illusion, and it holds you back in life. Once you drop your anger,
I'm not really mad at nothing.
You're mad at your mother.
Why would I be mad at her?
Because she recreated you in her image, and she made you afraid of her. And because you're afraid of her, you're afraid of all women, because you're running into the same spirit that's in your mother. But you forgive your mother for turning you away from your father, you would not have fear of anything, not psychological fear. But you got to forgive your mother for what she's done to you.
Okay, but my mother's in the grave, though. She's dead now.
She's dead, but just realize she could not help herself. And the fear that you have and emotions and thought you have, that came from her. You became like what you hate, right? And just as you can't help yourself, your mother could not help herself. Her mother did it to her. And then when you forgive your mother, knowing she couldn't help herself, God will forgive you, and He'll make you whole. He'll take away the fear.
So do I write a letter to my mom and put it on her gravesite, tell her that I forgive her?
If you want to, but you could just realize, you know what? I got to forgive my mother. She couldn't help herself. I'm wrong for resenting her. And that alone would change you.
Say that again?
When you realize, I got to forgive my mother. I'm wrong for being angry at her. She could not help herself. And I'm wrong for being angry. And the moment you can admit that, since she's dead, then it's free you. But it won't hurt. If you want to write a letter, do that. But you got to forgive her for what she's done to you. She has recreated you in her image. And you will make women your God.
Oh, so I'm making these women that I want to talk to, I'm making them my God.
That's why you're afraid of them, 100%.
Holy cow. So all this rejection that I have in my head and in my heart that I'm thinking, it's all a lie.
100%. You have identified with a lie. You have identified with evil.
And you know what calms me down is when I drink alcohol, and then I get a little more courage.
But that's not real courage. Courage is when you can do it without drinking. Courage is when you do it in fear and trembling and you move forward anyway. That's courage. Lee, call me on Monday. I got to run.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Call me on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Super chat.